Hello, welcome to the video instructions for completing Computer Lab assignment number 3. I'm here in this particular course Canvas and I'm going to click on modules. I believe in this sample course, Computer Lab assignment number 3 is located in module 11. That might vary for you, but we'll just use this as a guide. Here we can see that we have the assignment Computer Lab number 3, which is going to focus on a one sample t-test and a repeated measures t-test. And then down here below is the data file. I've loaded the data file into each of the Computer Lab assignments. Remember, all you have to do is access it once in JASP and it will remain there. If for some reason you're using a different device or there's some type of interruption, you can always come back here to access the data file. Remember, it's the same data file for all assignments. I'm going to click here on the instructions for Computer Lab number 3. These are similar to the instructions we've done in the past computer assignments. Accessing JASP. Next, you should pull in the data file. Then we'll be able to look at descriptive statistics, and then for this first Computer Lab assignment dealing with inferential statistics, we'll be looking at the t-test. I'm going to go ahead and access JASP through my desktop because I already have the program there. Give me a moment while I pull it up. In order to get in, you'll remember to click on these 3 horizontal bars. I'll click Open. Under Recent Files, you'll see the data file. Again, if it's not there, you can pull it in by saving it to your desktop and then accessing it through this computer link. Okay, so I'll click on the data file. Here you can see the data file. It's somewhat nicely organized, which I appreciate. We can collect any information on descriptives. I'd like to start off by looking at the number of hours that Santa Ana College students report working. Here we can see that variable. I'll click on it using the arrow, move it over, and then it's going to give me my descriptive statistics here. The mean is about 17.5 hours with a standard deviation of 13. Next, what I want to do is I want to conduct a one sample t-test. And what I want to say is that I'm comparing this sample mean, which you can see here from the descriptives, is about 17.5 hours, and I'm going to hypothesize whether I believe that that mean is significantly different from the population mean of, let's say, California adult workers who are not students. I'm going to hypothesize that our students are working less hours because they're also students. In order to examine that type of hypothesis, I would click here on t-tests, scroll down to the one sample t-test. I'm going to have to move that variable back in order to conduct the t-test. And I'm also going to click an alternative hypothesis here. And what I'd like to say is that I believe that the number of hours worked by the average American in California is going to be greater than that of our sample of Santa Ana College students because the Santa Ana College students are also going to school. So I'll click this alternative hypothesis, and I will also scroll down and look for hours worked per week, which is here, move that variable over, and then immediately JASP conducts our one sample t-test. We can count on statistical programs to do this for us on a regular basis. We don't need to be calculating our own t-tests. What we do need to be doing, though, is we need to be talking about what this t-test represents. So, looking here at the results, we can see that our t-value is 13.195. Our degrees of freedom is 99. That's because we have 100 in the sample, and in order to find the degrees of freedom for a one-sample t-test, we take n, which is 100, and subtract 1, so we're left with 99. Our p-value here is less than 0.001. We typically set that to be 0.05. So what this is telling us is that there is a significant difference between the hours worked by the average California worker and Santa Ana College students. And that was hypothesized in the computer lab assignment. Let's look at that for a moment. I set the population mean to be 32 hours. Now, I just picked that because I thought that sounds like a good number. We're just really testing the theory of t-tests here. And because we don't have a sample standard deviation, we need to use a t-test as opposed to a z-test. Okay, so let's scroll down. Here you're going to see that the first two questions have to do with the one sample t-test, and questions 3 and 4 have to do with the repeated measures or paired t-test. Let's go ahead and go back in. Here's the instructions for the paired t-test. I'm going to jump back into JASP for a moment, and here under t-tests we're going to find paired sample t-tests. We will not be conducting an independent samples t-test for this course as we have other statistics I want us to look at, but I will click there, and I'm going to be looking at what we're interested in for the paired sample t-test. And I believe that I was asking about anxiety. Yeah. So here I say click on the paired samples t-test, move the variables of anxiety before the semester and anxiety after the semester over to conduct this paired samples t-test. And I'm also going to hypothesize that Santa Ana College students have more anxiety before the semester and less once the semester is over because they have completed their semester. Moving back over to JASP, I can look for those variables. Anxiety level before, move that over. Anxiety level after, move that over. And then remember, I want to choose the alternative hypothesis down here below. So I want to say that level before is going to be greater than level after. So I will click here, and then we'll see again the results. Let me move this camera. For the paired sample t-test. Give me a moment while I try to make the screen recorder larger. Okay, here we go with our results from the paired samples t-test. What we find is a t of 7.276. Again, our degrees of freedom are the same, and our p-value is less than 0.001. So what we find here again is that there is a significant difference between anxiety level before the semester and anxiety level after the semester. I hope that this video helps you complete your assignment, and if you have any questions or concerns about computer lab assignment number 3, please reach out to me. If you are not able to access JASP at all, you can use this video, take screenshots of the tests, both the 1 sample and the 2 sample, and use those to answer the questions that are listed here below. We're going to be considering the idea of a significant t-test value. That means p is less than 0.05. And in these two particular examples, we saw p is less than 0.01. This means that our t observed value is out in the tails, our t critical value. So we're able to reject the null hypothesis in both of the examples. I will see you back in the next instruction video for Module 4.